my kitchen again, but today I'm doing something different for you. I'm not going to be cooking today, and today I'm going to provide you some information that it might be helpful for those that go to Azores, Portugal. And I'm saying this because 3 years ago I went to Azores with some family members, and they were not familiar with stuff in Azores, and they wanted coffee. And there is a variety of ways to ask for coffee, and it comes in different varieties, just like over here. I'll talk to you about the different ways to ask for coffees and what kind of coffee and what are the meanings when you ask. So instead of my stove today, I'm gonna bring you to my coffee corner. So in here, I have a Keurig, and this Keurig, it can do regular coffee. It also can do the shots, like the espresso shots. They ask 1 shot espresso or 2 shots espresso. So I know this is not the regular espresso coffee, but this does the same thing, and I thought I would just kind of talk about the different ways of coffee and what they are and what comes in it. So you can use one of the pots that you can buy, different pots, different brands, or you can put your own ground coffee as well. But I prefer the pots, because if I use the ground ones, it makes me too jitter and I'll be like a zombie for the rest of the day. So, and I'm gonna show you how I do my shot of coffee, of espresso. So I'm gonna put my coffee in here, and I'm gonna get a cup. So when you go to Azores and you ask, usually they have an espresso which comes in the little tiny little cups after dinner or in the afternoons to kind of as a leisure time where people go and sit in the cafes and kind of just sip in the little coffee. So they usually is about 1 shot of coffee, or it can be 2 shots if you want more. They do also provide the regular coffee, you know, the regular cup of coffee, or decaffeinated, which is called descafeinado coffee. They do provide that as well. But I'm going to show you kind of the basic what they are. So you ask for an espresso, and they're going to say 1 shot or double shot. So if you want 1 shot, you say 1 shot. If you want double, you say duplo. Duplo means double in Portuguese. So I'm going to do the double. So I'm going to start my shot. And what you would do is, in my case, you press 2. Over there, they have the 2 things already making at the same time, or they'll double the amount of shots. So that's one way, is the duplo and the 1 shot. Another one that is very popular, and this is me growing up, I drank this all the time. You know, over there when we were growing up, we were drinking coffee at 5, 6 years old. That was our meal in the morning. It was coffee, bread, cheese, whatever it was. But you've been drinking coffee since I was little. So we're used to our coffee. And I don't know what espresso that we do here versus the espresso over there. Theirs is so much stronger. I cannot drink an espresso over there. It is so stronger. It makes me jitter. It'll make me not concentrate, and it kind of even upsets my stomach. So I made 1 shot. So I'm gonna I want 2 shots for my cup. So after you do your 2 shots, you know, you can have it that way. Or you can also ask for pingado. Pingado is coffee, and you just a drip of milk. It's kind of more like, doesn't even barely change color. I don't even know what's the purpose of it. Or you're gonna have coffee with milk, or you're just gonna have coffee. But they do have a pingado. And those were things that I did not know when I went over there, that, you know, there was that variety of different ways to order coffee. When we were kids, we only drink galons. We were in school, that's all we did was un galon. So this is why it's important to know these things. So o pingat is this, and you just put 1 drop of milk. So don't know the purpose, but anyway. The other one is, and I'm gonna put my milk. This is milk. You can also add cream to it, but I'm doing like they do over there. I'm gonna foam my my milk, and this would be for a garoto or o pink. Okay, o garoto e o pink are kind of the opposite of the pingado. Pingado, coffee and a little bit of milk, very little. O garoto is more milk. It's all milk and very little coffee. What's the purpose of it? I don't know, but they have it. So it's kind of confusing. And that's why I kind of thought and show you this, so you kind of get a better understand. So o pink, e o garoto are kind of the opposite. Pink, coffee, very little milk. O garoto is milk and very little coffee. Now, my understanding, this is how I understand, because us kids, we did drink coffee. So it is more milk and very little coffee, because it's going to make you jitter. So you would order that for maybe a kid, or, you know, a teenager or something. So that's what the difference is. The other one is o galão. O galão is half coffee and half milk. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put now, this is to make a galão. You fill up your cup of coffee and you put your milk. And it's half and half. Okay? Which, for us here in the United States, this is a cappuccino. A cappuccino because it has the foam. If it didn't have foam and it was just half coffee and half milk, just cold milk, it would be a galão. But because it has foam, it's a cappuccino. There is another way also, is a made light. Made light is similar to the galão. The difference is the cup that is served. O galão usually is more in a tall glass, something like this, when meia cheia is just a regular coffee saucer, you know, usually has a saucer and then a cup, and it's half milk and half coffee. But they're similar. It's just, you know, and I remember asking, what's the difference? Well, one comes in a tall glass, one comes in more of a coffee cup. So this is a cappuccino. The other thing is a cappuccino for a mocha. They look the same. Only thing is, mocha gonna have chocolate. Add some chocolate to it. Okay? You add some chocolate and you got a mocha. It's same thing as a cappuccino. And you don't need to go to coffee shops. You can do it your own in here and save money. So that's what this is. This now is a mocha. Not a cappuccino no more, because I put the chocolate. Oh my goodness. Just like over there. So now, I'm going to make a different coffee they usually have this for after dinner, after dinner drinks, when you want to eat something with dessert, and they ask for coffee with cheirinho or coffee with music. Does the coffee dance? No. You might dance because there's booze in it. So when you order coffee with music or cheirinho, which means smell, which doesn't make no sense, but with cheirinho, you put booze. It can be a brandy or a strong kind of liquor, or it can be a more softer, like Irish cream, Kahlua, Frangelic, something more, or even Grand Marnier, something kind of like more like an after dinner drink. So, and that's what I'm gonna do here. Meant to do it one shot, 6 ounces, and I made one shot. But anyway, so this is the one is done with music or cheirinho. See what I mean? It's so confusing. And they all sound sometimes the same thing. They have similar amounts, but they're completely different. So it was kind of hard for me to try to explain people I was with what is it meant. So here is my coffee, and it's a regular cup of coffee, and it's usually black. Usually they don't put no cream when you want with music. It's just a black cup of coffee. There's no, I mean, I would think you could ask. In this case, I would need to, because I'm gonna put Irish cream, and Irish cream already has the milk. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put with some music, and you get that effect. So, I hope this helps you in some way once we can travel to go to Azores, which hopefully is soon, that when you go, you're not, frustrated in ordering your coffee. So I'm gonna go and recap everything I said. You can have one shot or double shots. Double shots is duplo, because it means two. Then there is the pingado. A pingado is half coffee and a tiny little bit. It doesn't even change colors. That's how little milk you put. When o garoto, if you think about it, it's in Portuguese, it means kid. So it's something for a kid. So you're gonna have half milk and very little coffee. That's how I can associate the difference in these two, o pingado and o garoto. O garoto is milk and a little bit of coffee. O pingado is coffee and very little milk. Then we have com cheirinho or com music. Cheirinho means smelly, but why? Is it because it has strong smell? I don't know. But that's what it means. Coffee with cheirinho is all coffee, and then they put whatever brandy or whatever liqueur of your choice. And sometimes they ask, what would you like? And you can say, sometimes just say, well, whatever your choice. So they'll put it. That's o cheirinho. Then we have o galão. Galão is half coffee and half milk. Cold milk. Doesn't have to be hot. They might heat it up, but it doesn't have no foam. It's just so your coffee is not cold. But most of the time when you drink a galão, it is cold milk. It's not a hot. Usually you have that when you're eating something, like in the morning, you're eating breakfast, and it's not too hot for you to be there sipping. You're eating, you're moving on. Then you have the cappuccino. which is half chocolate, half coffee, half milk with foam. That's what cappuccino is. Then you take a cappuccino, you add some chocolate, and you got a mocha. And here you have it, a variety of different ones. And there's many more. This is just basic, because these are things that most likely we all order. You know, we want a regular cup of coffee. You say, I want coffee, or a decaf cup of coffee. Or I want an espresso, a shot or double shot. If you want some coffee after dinner, I would like coffee with shitty, or coffee with music. Music is more, I've heard more here in the United States, not over there. I know over here, when they ask for coffee with music, it's more over here. Over there is more coffee with shitty. That's with the booze. And then you have, this is more like the afternoon, you know, for us, afternoon, you know, the cappuccino. It's more like an afternoon kind of visitor, kind of spend relaxing time. But see what I mean? This is the variety of ways to ask for a cup of coffee. Now you say, Angela, why are you doing this? Well, I think it's important information, especially for people that have never traveled to Europe, to Portugal, to Azores, to kind of know those things. And I'm all about educating people in different things. If it's not in cooking, if it's in different ways of making something, and this will make it easy. If I had known this, I wouldn't have to go Google what coffee with shitty meant, because we didn't have that when we were kids. We didn't have that. We did have the espresso. My mom would make, we would have espresso after dinner, especially as adults. I mean, adults, maybe teenagers. We would have our espresso, not all the time. But we didn't have an espresso machine. We invented the espresso machine. We would put instant coffee with sugar and beat the heck out of it for hours. And it would do this new thing that they do in TikTok, that it's this foam. That was our espresso. We didn't have a machine to make it. We made it our own. So anyway, I hope this is important information and it help you to your next trip when we can travel. Can't wait. Miss my son Miguel. And, you know, now you know. Because that's what it's all about, is learning new ways and grasping new information for ourselves. So, until next time, have a good day. I'm going to enjoy my 2 cups of coffee and probably take a nap, because that one has booze. Have a good day.